Head coach Clint Mylymok joins me right now. And coach, pretty trying weekend this weekend on the split up in Rochester. Your thoughts on the whole? It seemed like a playoff atmosphere for those games.
It was. I mean, we're going to get everyone's best effort. They won, I think, 7 or 8 straight, and in our division, and so they wanted to flex a little bit, I thought I actually played well on Friday. We didn't execute. I think zone time was good, possession was good, execution was bad. I mean, in a tight game, we had a really bad breakdown by a couple of players that maybe you don't expect it from. So maybe the long layup hurt him a bit, but just got caught on the wrong side of the puck. And they're one of their top players made a top player play, and our guys didn't find a way to get our top player play. Right. So 1-0, and they got an empty netter. But I thought our one thing I did kind of worry about was our breakouts. Could we get out quickly? And I thought our transition was great. We just didn't execute, and that means sometimes like standing in front when shots were coming. I didn't see a lot of that. So and then on Saturday, I just thought special teams usually comes in at some point to be a difference maker, and we got a power play goal, and so Lee Pack and the boys held them off the score sheet power play wise all weekend, and which is impressive because they have a very good power play, and they didn't get one. So they're a good team. I mean, we went there and you get a split and didn't love it, but they're a good team that's won a lot of games in a row. So in hindsight, when you get away from it, like that's a pretty good job.
When you look at a guy like Dylan Gordon, who comes in last weekend, has 2 assists, 2 pretty big assists as well. The offensive side of the defensemen have been coming out in recent weeks. How have you liked the play of not only Dylan Gordon, but the rest of the defensive core?
Yeah, you need usually after the Christmas break, some guys start kind of figuring out things and their role and what they can do and how much more they can do. And I thought he moved his legs really well. His biggest asset are his legs, and he got up ice twice on both assists. You see him get a puck and go and make a play off the rush, and that's what he can certainly do. And like Cal Houston was another one where he's noticeably been different since about Johnstown when we played the three up there before Christmas break. He's like, wow, he's taking some steps, and he had his call up to Youngstown. I thought that gave him a boost of confidence because he played a ton when he was there, and now he's a guy you can do a lot with too. Like both of them are guys that if you have them, especially in zone, they can do things that other guys can't. They can move their feet. They got good vision. They play with their head up. They can make some puck plays, and that's the stuff we need. So basically, it feels like we got a couple of new players. They've been good all year, but now they're even, I guess, progressing to the point where we have some wild moments on the bench, which is fun.
Now you have another guy who came back, and Matthew Croxall, who comes back from injury, starts producing as well. How does it feel to have him back into the lineup?
Yeah, he's another guy that can do everything, and he's very competitive. Like that's a separating factor for him. Some guys are out and they come back in and wait, and he's a guy that he competes so hard. He finds a way to get things done, and his timing is impeccable. Of when loose pucks arrive, all of a sudden there he is, and he's got such a lethal stick. He's very smart, very competitive, very strong, and his stick is nasty. It really is. He's got a really good stick. So when he gets a piece of the puck, it's moving pretty quick, and he's a smart shooter. Like there's guys who can rip and pound pucks and have heavy shots, and he's smart. He's got a heavy shot. He's got a quick release, but he sees the game very well from a scoring perspective, and he does it all the time in practice. So it shouldn't be a surprise you see it in games. So yeah, it's nice having him back.
When you talk about D1 talent, there's a kid who's a D1 talent who's going to go to college at Holy Cross, and also it's still young too, so a lot of progression on that.
Yeah, he's still developing, and it's his first year of junior hockey, and I don't feel like a rookie or a first year guy to me. Like and a lot of our guys don't. They just feel like they're junior A players and junior A ready, and Croxall's the type of kid where, I mean, first time his birthday's coming up, and he's like, hey, talking about visors all of a sudden. So like he wants to play that type of hockey, and he wants to play with the men, and he's a young man the way he plays and conducts himself. So he's not like a lot of other kids at that age.
New Hampshire coming up. You haven't seen them in a bit, and you split up there last time, but when they were here, you also took a sweep of that. What's the key to getting 4 points this weekend?
Well, they split it at Johnstown, scored a lot of goals, so we're going to watch their video, and I think with us, it's always going to come down to the details. I thought our layoff hurt us with details, so we were kind of fine tuning that a little bit, like just face-off details, positional things, like all the little things that no one sees but the coaches and the players learn to appreciate and understand. So we're going to focus on that and see what they're doing. They've had a lot of changes before the deadline and after, so it's a different group. But I mean, when they go into Johnstown and split and score 7 goals against a team that defends, like you got to be ready. And we talk about this as coaches. Every game we play in our division is not easy. It isn't. Like, it's tough. So it's good because I think it gets us ready for the right time of year, which is playoffs, and we expect high-end competition every time we play in this division.
So Canada night on Saturday night, you as a Canadian, me as a half Canadian. What's the big thing that you miss about Canada, especially probably not the cold in this time of year, but is there one big thing that makes you homesick?
I would say, for me, it's just family. This age is family. It's like there's like, is it the food? You get the same food here pretty much. It's not that much of a difference. Growing up in both countries, you kind of see there are differences, and I think for me, it's like it's what I miss most is our family that's up there, and like where you're born and where you're from, it's always got a place in your heart, and it could be just the beauty of the West Coast, the ruggedness of the prairies, and you got like the East Coast is phenomenal. So the food is good, like the seafood. The good news is here the seafood is really good, but where my family is in British Columbia, the seafood's really good there too. So I always miss that, but miss seeing the family, the dogs, and the siblings. So that's for me is what I miss. And on Canada night, I guess there'll be a lot of the stereotypical things that they're going to talk about. So that I'm used to.
Well, I told the guys up here that they're going to throw poutine instead of cookies, and I don't think they were aware of that. So
yeah, I probably shouldn't do that.
Hey, Coach Clint Mylymok.